It's here, the big finale. Who will win? Who will lose? Well, I'm pretty sure Snow White's gonna lose, but it'll still be exciting. Hey guys, I'm Libby and welcome to Punzi's Palace. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe down below if you enjoyed this series and if you enjoy any other kind of Disney content. Be sure to also leave me a comment down below on any ideas for analyzing other Disney movies. And for the last time, here we go. The ranking rules are only official Disney princesses, plus Anna and Elsa, only the original movie, so no Frozen 2, and only focusing on the princesses' actions. Princesses can gain and lose points based on how they follow pandemic guidelines, and the princess with the highest score wins. Now, let's finish it off with Elsa from Frozen. So she starts off with some obvious points for being magical with ice powers. Again, like Rapunzel, I will be taking off points and giving her points because otherwise this wouldn't be fun. But her deductions will also be discounted like Rapunzel's were because she's a magical being. And again, no points off for interacting with the trolls because they're magical rocks. And points for having the palace shut down because of her and having to hide herself away from everybody, including her sister. I did the math in Anna's video, but she's locked away for 13 years. No contact with anyone but her parents, and she's kept just in her room. So 5 points per year is 65 points. And some more points for looking longingly out the window. The outside world must seem pretty tempting when you can only be inside for literally most of your life. And she also starts wearing gloves at a very young age. Very good. Keeps ice powers in and germs out. And she doesn't even want her parents to touch her because she's afraid of hurting them. It's very sad, very real, and very quarantine. And it's good at limiting contact. And she gets points for her parents dying, but not as many points as Anna got because she doesn't attend the funeral. And more points for the overwhelming amount of grief and flurry of emotions she's constantly feeling that she has to go and handle on her own. The creator said that Elsa was like a sort of symbol for depression, and that's kind of what she's going through with her powers. And she's trying not to feel, and her powers are obviously connected to her emotions since they tend to lash out when she feels greatly. She hasn't learned how to control her emotions, therefore she hasn't learned how to control her powers, and instead she just bottles everything up, and so the ice powers just kind of go out everywhere. Being depressed, very quarantine. Some points off for being the one to tell the guards to open the gates because I'm pretty sure she was also the one who invited everybody there from the kingdom and also from distant lands, so that's a lot of people you're having gather. But she does greet them all from a distance. Very nice. But more points off for being tightly packed in the room during the coronation. She's not really close to anybody, but it's a lot of people in there. She does take off her gloves, but she has to take them off to be sworn in and hold those little object things. So only like a few off because she isn't touching anybody. She's touching these things that were probably cleaned beforehand, and they're presented to her on a very nice pillow. So, and she immediately puts her gloves back on, so just a few off. Then she walks into the party afterwards, very distant from everybody, standing very far away. She is very near Anna, but they don't really touch, but there are a lot of people at this party, and she hasn't really interacted with Anna at all for the past 13 years, so yeah. Some points off. But a few points earned back for declining a dance and instead watching from a distance. And then some people come and talk to her. They keep a good distance, but she is still greeting guests and interacting with them and talking with them, so that's not good. And some points for turning away from Anna as soon as she tries to make contact. Kind of sad, but it's good. But then when Anna comes back, Elsa is in the crowd of people at the party, also talking to more people, interacting with them, and she's not really distanced from anybody anymore, so that's not great. And then she's also introduced to Hans. They're not 6 feet apart. She doesn't know this guy. He's from a very distant land. He's not from Arendelle, and he also has 12 older brothers. So yeah, it's just not good. But she does have some sense in telling her sister that you can't marry a man you just met. In normal circumstances, this is obvious, but especially in a pandemic, you shouldn't do this. At least quarantine with the guy for 14 days and then see how you feel. Elsa does get some points for ending the party early and telling them to close the gates, but Anna does take her glove, and she doesn't give it back. It's very rude, Anna. And this is sad, but she gets a few points for also telling Anna to leave when Anna says she can't live like this anymore. Limiting contact. More off for walking through the crowd of people at the party. That's not good. But When she tries to leave and she does her little ice thing, everybody's super far away from her and they're even further away because her magic pushes them further away, so a few points there. But some minus points for then running out of the castle into another crowd of people outside, and she gets really close to this mother and her baby, and then close to this man and his children, endangering lives but also children's lives. Not good, Elsa. But she does tell people to stay away from her. And she runs away from all of civilization, so that's good too. I mean, she literally runs away to be on top of a mountaintop. And some obvious points for saying she's the queen of a kingdom of isolation, because that's just...
A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen.
Spot on. And she also seems to really enjoy being away from people now because she's had time to reflect on who she is, think about her powers, and use them to her own will. Quarantine, again, is a great time for reflection. Also, she does the ultimate home renovation project by literally building a home from scratch. From ice, no less. And it's done in seconds. She does have magical ice powers, but like, she hasn't used them in years. And she can suddenly make a structurally sound ice palace? Definite points here because I feel like she must have been studying architecture when she was locked in her room all these years, so. Then she says she's never going back to civilization, so that's good. We know she does, but like the sentiment is there. She does come to greet Anna, but like, do you see how far apart they are? Yeah, she's fine. But when Anna does start to come closer to her, to talk to her, Elsa flinches and steps back away from her and tells Anna to go back to Arendelle. I definitely feel that, stepping away from people when they try to get close in your bubble. And then she starts to run away from Anna as she starts to approach her faster. Also good. And more points for having an emotional breakdown. Very quarantine. And she magics a bodyguard to throw these people out of her ice palace. Nice. And she runs away from these guys that are coming into her palace. I mean, they are trying to kill her, so like she needs to run, but a few off for almost killing 2 people. She totally could have done it. They were sent to assassinate her, but if Hans didn't tell her to stop, she definitely would have killed 2 people. And some more points for getting locked in a cell and chained up. Very isolated. But some points off for standing within a close distance to Hans in the cell. He's been around so many people around the kingdom, and he is from a distant land, and they talk very closely together. And I mean, she technically does kill her sister. She blasts her heart, making it frozen, and like, yeah, blasting the heart, that's sanitation, but it also is making her heart frozen and then eventually gonna kill her. And also Elsa doesn't commit the act of true love, Anna does to save herself, so points off for that. But she does get some points back for witnessing a death. Not as many because it's kind of her fault, but yeah, and no points off for hugging Anna here since she was magic back to life, and also no points off for hugging Anna when she was an ice statue because she was an ice statue. And technically she does keep Olaf from dying by making him his own little personal flurry, so that's good. But now she is standing in a crowd of her people who she hasn't interacted with for years, so that's not good. And then she touches Anna, who has been magicked, but she was also just smooching Kristoff, who is not sanitary, and Elsa does not know him at all, and he also shares carrots with the reindeer, so not good. And a few off for saying they'll never close the gates again.
We are never closing them again.
That's just inviting so many strangers. And more points off for ice skating with everybody in the crowd at the end. Alright, and that's it. Elsa, the Ice Queen, finishes with a grand total of...
So before I announce Elsa's point total, I wanted to quickly shout out a video that is being done by Delaney Half Dozen. Go check out her video where she is doing a Frozen themed hot cocoa. So please go and check that out. It'll be really great. Yeah, I guess we can do the point total now.
108 points. Nice job, Elsa. Good job. I will say I thought she might win this, and she did come pretty close, but the fact that she's more of a secondary character in Frozen helps and hurts her. Hurts her because she doesn't have as much time to earn as many points throughout the movie. Helps her because she doesn't have as much time to lose points during the movie. Still, she did a good job. And that closes out the rankings, putting Elsa in 2nd place.
Nobody was able to guess her point total correctly, but congratulations to Brittany Wilbur for guessing that Elsa would come in 2nd place. Also, big thank you to everyone who has commented on all of the videos throughout the quarantine series. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate all your support.
And the final ranking list is as follows. Last place goes to Snow White with -14 points. Poor gal never stood a chance. Her whole story revolves around talking with strangers. 13th place goes to Ariel with 3 points. That's what happens when you leave the ocean to be with humans. 12th place goes to Anna with 7 points. Again, don't marry a man you just met. 11th place goes to Pocahontas with 33 points. Being one with nature helps, but beware of the white man. 10th place goes to Jasmine with 36 points. Being locked in a palace helps, but don't befriend a street rat. 9th place goes to Mulan with 51 points. If you go to war, at least you're quarantined with everybody that you go to war with, but they can be incredibly gross. 8th place goes to Merida with 57 points. Magical bears help you be sanitary, I guess, but inviting 3 clans to come to socialize with all of you, probably not the best. 7th place goes to Belle with 65 points. A magical isolated castle is a great place to spend quarantine, but beware of people like Gaston. 6th place goes to Aurora with 77 points. Sleeping for most of quarantine helps you to stay very sanitary. 5th place goes to Moana with 91 points. Having a magical ocean best friend and a demigod travel partner definitely helps. 4th place goes to Tiana with 96 points. Magical voodoo and turning into a frog and back again definitely helps, but she also has great quarantine spirit and vibes. 3rd place goes to Cinderella with 99 points. Cleaning constantly and staying inside to be a maid will definitely help you to become a quarantine queen. 2nd place goes to Elsa with 108 points. Isolating yourself from everyone and being magical helps, but please seek professional help if you are feeling depressed during these times because they are so uncertain. And 1st place with 138 points goes to Rapunzel. She is the official quarantine queen. Being imbued with magic and having healing hair definitely helps, but also being locked away for her entire life and using that time to learn a bunch of different skills and make the most of it and staying generally very optimistic are definitely great characteristics to being the perfect quarantine queen. All right. That's it! I hope you have enjoyed watching this series, and you can always go through and watch them back again, over and over again. I have a playlist linked up above. And to honor Rapunzel winning this series, I was gonna honor whoever won the series by buying a piece of merchandise with the princess on it. So if you want to see what I buy to honor the Quarantine Queen series and to honor Rapunzel, go and follow me at Punzi Palace. Also, let me know in the comments down below who your favorite princess is and who your favorite non-official Disney princess is. I'm very interested to see. And let me know any other ideas you might have for a series that I can do. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe down below for more Disney content. And until next time, guys, farewell.